Hello, this is Dr. Grande. Today's question is, can I analyze Fiona Harvey's lawsuit against Netflix, which is based on the series Baby Reindeer? Just a reminder, I'm not diagnosing anybody in this video, only speculating about what could be happening in a situation like this. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, subscribe to my channel, and consider supporting me on Patreon. I'll put the link to Patreon in the description for this video. First, I'll look at the background of this case, move to a summary of the series, then to a summary of the lawsuit, and finally offer my analysis. In April 2024, Netflix released a 7-episode series titled Baby Reindeer, which went on to achieve massive popularity with viewers. According to Netflix, this show is a true story about a comedian named Richard Gadd and his interactions with a stalker. In the series, Richard plays a version of himself named Donnie Dunn. The actress Jessica Gunning plays the stalker, Martha Scott. Here is a summary of the series. Spoiler alert for Baby Reindeer. In 2015, Donnie Dunn was a struggling comedian in London and working in a pub. One day, a woman named Martha Scott came into the pub. She appeared to be down on her luck, yet claimed to be a famous attorney. Martha kept returning to the pub, told fantastical stories, and became flirtatious with Donnie. She called him a baby reindeer, which is where the series title comes from. At this point, Martha transformed into a stalker. She sent Donnie hundreds of emails a day, interrupted comedy competitions where he was performing, pushed him against a wall and groped him, sat at a bus stop across from Donnie's home for hours every day, attacked a person who Donnie was dating, and harassed Donnie's parents. Eventually, Martha was arrested and sent to prison. Donnie never saw Martha again. The series did not use real names, but people were quickly able to identify a woman named Fiona Harvey as the real Martha Scott. Fiona was not too happy about the way she was depicted in the series. During an interview with Piers Morgan in May of 2024, Fiona denied being a stalker and said that Richard had mental health problems. She admitted that she knew Richard and may have sent a few emails to him, but denied many of the claims made in the Baby Reindeer series. Fiona said that she would be suing Netflix for defamation. On June 6, 2024, that's exactly what Fiona Harvey did. She filed a lawsuit against Netflix in the U.S. District Court for the Central District of California, seeking $170 million in damages. Fiona accused Netflix of defamation, intentional infliction of emotional distress, negligence, and violating her right of publicity. Here is a summary of Fiona Harvey's lawsuit. Again, these are allegations that she is making against the streaming service, Netflix. The lawsuit claims that the phrase, "This is a true story," which appeared at the beginning of episode 1 of the Baby Reindeer series, is the biggest lie in television history. The lie was told because Richard Gadd was greedy and had a lust for fame. Fiona Harvey is an innocent woman who was defamed by Netflix and Richard at a magnitude and scale without precedent. In order to overcome Richard's uninteresting true story of being a drug user and failed comedian, Netflix fabricated the tale of Martha Scott. In the Baby Reindeer series, the character Martha was depicted as spending 5 years in prison for stalking Richard and another woman, stalking a police officer, committing an assault of a sexual nature against Richard, attacking him in a pub, and waiting outside his home for up to 16 hours a day. A recurring joke in the series was the phrase, "hang my curtains," which was a euphemism for Richard having sex with Martha. In 2014, Fiona Harvey published a message on Twitter, which was publicly searchable when Baby Reindeer was released in 2024. This message read, "My curtains need hung badly." People were able to find this message and identify Fiona as Martha just 9 days after Baby Reindeer was released. As a result, Fiona received a large quantity of distressing messages like, "Are you the real Martha from Baby Reindeer? Are you a stalker? And you are a horrible person. I hope you suffer for the rest of your blank life." She even received death threats. Fiona has been tormented by this drastic response and experienced anxiety, nightmares, panic attacks, shame, depression, nervousness, stomach pains, fear, and a loss of appetite. Afraid to leave her home, she has become isolated. As Fiona suffered, Richard traveled across the country promoting his show and accepting awards. He has a deep need for attention and was desperate to achieve fame. The lawsuit then reveals Fiona's arguments for defamation. It claims that Fiona never assaulted Richard in any way, never stalked him, never stalked a police officer, and has never been convicted of any crime or been to prison. A certificate from the British government was attached as an exhibit, which appears to support the assertion that Fiona has no criminal record. Netflix has responded to the lawsuit by stating it intends to defend this matter vigorously and to stand by Richard Gadd's right to tell his story. Now moving to my analysis. Here are my thoughts on a few areas that stood out to me in this case. Item number 1. Fiona Harvey claimed that Netflix defamed her when they made various claims like she was a convicted criminal, but some of the statements in the Baby Reindeer series made about the Martha Scott character are not denied in the lawsuit. They are conspicuously absent. For example, Baby Reindeer portrayed Martha as sending over 41,000 emails, 350 hours worth of voicemails, over 700 tweets, 46 Facebook messages, and 106 pages of letters to Donnie Dunn over a period of 3 years. Why didn't Fiona mention that in her lawsuit? After all, during her Piers Morgan interview, Fiona claimed that she only sent a few emails and just one letter. I think it is reasonable to believe that Fiona did send the messages. She even hinted about her culpability when she said, quote, "Even if the email thing was true, the rest is not," unquote. There was also no mention of how Martha's character attacked Donnie's love interest and interrupted comedy competitions. Is that because Fiona was guilty of those behaviors? It certainly seems possible. Item number 2, a story about Fiona harassing a lawyer named Laura Ray was published in the newspaper. In Baby Reindeer, this was expressed in the form of a fictional newspaper headline. Furthermore, Laura was interviewed by Piers Morgan and accused Fiona of stalking. Fiona allegedly started stalking Laura after Laura fired her from her job. Laura said that she is considering suing Fiona, but is concerned because she's not sure if Fiona has any money. She will be filing a lawsuit if Fiona wins millions of dollars. This makes it seem like if Fiona was victorious against Netflix, she might find herself with more legal problems. Item number 3, Fiona is looking for $170 million from Netflix. There's no way she's going to get that much money, but in order to prevail at any level, Fiona must prove that she has actual damages. It's not clear what those damages would be. What exactly has Fiona lost through the alleged defamation? Was she expecting to earn over $100 million through some project, but lost the opportunity due to the Baby Reindeer series? Are there a lot of companies lining up to hand Fiona money? This seems unlikely. Some defamatory statements, like falsely stating that a person has a criminal conviction, may constitute defamation per se. This means the damages are presumed simply due to the inherently harmful nature of the defamatory statement. For this to matter, the plaintiff must prove that the defamation actually occurred. Item number 4, Richard Gadd does not appear to be helping Netflix in any way through public statements he has made. For example, he defended the Baby Reindeer series, saying it represented his emotional truth and was not a fact-by-fact profile of someone. The show was tweaked slightly to create dramatic climaxes. Netflix can defend their "this is a true story" statement, even if the story is substantially true. Even so, it seems odd that Richard would start backing away from the idea that the Baby Reindeer story is 100% factual. I'm surprised that Netflix claimed the story was true when they could have simply said it was inspired by true events or based on a true story. They could have saved themselves a lot of headaches. Maybe they assumed that Fiona was completely without recourse, like she was incapable of finding an attorney to take her case. Whatever their reason, it was not a smart move. Item number 5, Fiona Harvey's best claim is that the Baby Reindeer series stated that she is a convicted criminal when she may not be. Assuming that she has never been convicted of a crime, as she has stated, I wonder where Netflix stumbled upon this information. Why would they say this if it wasn't true? Did they get this information from Richard Gadd? If they simply made this up, then they could be liable, at least to some degree. Netflix had a responsibility to take reasonable steps to verify the accuracy of Richard's story before publishing it. I wonder if somebody else had already made this claim against Fiona, like it was already public before the Baby Reindeer series was released. Maybe it was published in some source which is no longer available, like a deleted article or a social media post. If it was previously published, then Netflix was simply repeating a claim that was public and may not be liable. Item number 6, In addition to what I've already mentioned as far as possible defenses for Netflix, Fiona has to consider the possibility that she will be declared a limited-purpose public figure. This will raise the bar for proving defamation from negligence to actual malice. This means that in order for Netflix to be liable, they must have known the statements they were making were false, or had a reckless disregard for the truth. Actual malice is a high standard, which will be difficult for Fiona to prove. In my opinion, Fiona Harvey probably is a limited-purpose public figure. She had been in the newspaper accused of stalking Laura Ray, and Fiona engaged with Richard Gadd online in a public forum, namely Twitter. Her own behavior put her in the spotlight. Item number 7. Does Fiona Harvey have a good case against Netflix? I would be surprised if this case ever made it to trial, but if it did, I think that Fiona would be in a tough spot. It looks like she's trying to win millions of dollars based on a technicality. There's a lot of evidence supporting the claim that she engaged in criminal activity, namely stalking. Fiona says that she was never convicted of a crime, but if she actually committed the crime, was she really damaged by the false claim? I agree that Netflix should not have said that Fiona was convicted if she was not, but Fiona's behavior drove this narrative. Does anyone really think worse of Fiona specifically because of the conviction allegation, or was her stalking behavior really the problem that damaged her reputation? In my opinion, Fiona does not have a good case and probably would not win, but Netflix caused themselves grief by claiming that she was convicted and sticking with the true story claim. This means that Fiona has a better chance of defending inevitable motions to dismiss and getting the case in front of a jury. Under these circumstances, Netflix would have to pay a lot more money to defend the case. This is a great example of Netflix finding a way to lose with a winning hand. They may feel pressured to settle the case because it's more cost-effective than taking it to trial. Moving to my last item, number 8. What do I think happened in this case? This is just a theory, my opinion. Fiona Harvey was a stalker, and while engaged in this activity, may have committed offenses that she could have been arrested for. Somehow, Fiona was not arrested, but Richard assumed that she had been. He communicated this to Netflix, and instead of investigating thoroughly, they took his word for it. This mistake, combined with the unwise decision to represent the Baby Reindeer series as a true story, led to civil litigation. Even so, considering that Fiona's reputation was already damaged due to her stalking behavior, proving additional negative consequences due to the accusations will be very difficult. There is no real path to victory for Fiona in this case. Fiona probably does not believe she's really going to be awarded any money. Rather, the lawsuit is simply a continuation of her unwillingness to let go of whatever obsession she has with Richard Gadd. It is a way to stay connected to him and have some basis to criticize him. She is angry because Richard achieved fame and fortune based on her handiwork. He actually used her stalking behavior to his benefit. Furthermore, exploiting a potential false allegation about a criminal conviction allows Fiona to play the victim. In order to achieve personal satisfaction, she doesn't need to convince people that she's a good person and Richard is a bad person. Rather, she would be satisfied if everybody looked terrible. In this sense, Fiona Harvey has already achieved victory. Those are my thoughts in the case of Fiona Harvey's lawsuit. Please put any opinions and thoughts in the comment section. They consistently generate an interesting dialogue. As always, I hope you found my analysis of this topic to be informative. Thanks for watching.